We're not walking out of meetings anymore without any real action items. We're especially not walking out of meetings realizing we forgot to mention something that was important, because what was the meeting about? By the end of this video, you will learn how to create a system that tracks your weekly progress, identify priorities, and also highlight opportunities for growth and improvement. This simple check-in database works really well with a team just to touch base with everyone and make sure everyone's on the same page, but you could also use this independently just for your own self check-in and keeping yourself on track. So let's get into it and see how it actually works. So this is the weekly check-in database that I use for my 9 to 5. For context, I am a technical writer and I usually have a lot of projects that I'm managing at the same time. So this has really been a huge game changer for me in just making sure that I am prioritizing what I need to and really going into the next week with intentionality. So I'm just gonna explain what we are looking at here. If we scroll down a little bit, we'll see a bunch of pages on this database that I created. And in these pages, it houses a template where I do my weekly reflections. On the database, I can see what week of the year it is. The date is the Monday of every week. Then I add a title once I complete my reflections, and the title will be changed to what the main priority of that week was. If I want to add more details, I'll add it here, just so if I want to go back and reference it a little bit later, it's easier for me to find what those subtasks were. And then I also have the quarter listed here. In this database, I also have it separated by quarter, so I can move and click Q2, Q3, Q4, and then also the entire year I have listed here. And what's really great about seeing it separated by quarter is that I know that when it's March 23rd, I could be like, oh my gosh, there's only 2 more weeks left in this quarter. How am I going to finish strong? Are there any deadlines that I need to account for? And just separating it like this has helped me reach a lot of my targets that I set for myself last year. So I really appreciate this format. Now, in terms of the actual reflections that I do weekly, I rate the week out of 10, 1 being I'm ready to quit my job, 10 being I'm great, I'm cool, everything's copacetic. I list my accomplishments for the past week, the priorities for the next week, any challenges or blockers that I had, and lessons learned and opportunities for improvement. The reason that I really love this is because I get a very holistic view of everything that happened this week. A big thing for me is listing out where I need to improve, and by reflecting on that weekly, it gives me a really good starting point when I am planning for the next week. When it comes to actually starting a new page, if I want to open up a blank one here, you'll see that there's just the meeting notes, and then I can add the title. And then once I've finished adding all of the notes that I wanted for that week, I will just add an icon and I'll change it to this green check mark just to show that that week is completed, because initially it is blank and I kind of like seeing the progress throughout the quarter through adding or by adding that check mark there. But essentially, that is how this works. It's very, very, very simple and has helped me in my work tremendously. Now that we've learned how this works, we are going to get into building this template, and it's very easy. I give you everything that you need, so let's get into it. So the first step in creating a new page in Notion is configuring those page settings. And of course, feel free to add this database to an existing page if you already have one. So what I'm going to do is call this weekly check-in, and I'll call it 2026. I can't believe it's that year already. And then I'm just gonna leave the page icon blank. I'm not gonna add one this time, but you can add an icon here if you would like. Next, I am going to navigate to the top right-hand corner of the page and click this ellipsis menu, and this will open up some page settings. What I'm going to do here is click full width, just so that I'm taking advantage of the full screen space. And you could also make the text smaller here as well, and choose the font that you would like for the entire page. I'll just leave it at the default. Now that the page is configured, I'm just gonna hover over the title and add a cover. I'm gonna change cover and I'll click upload to upload a file. And once your file is uploaded, you can drag and reposition it any way that you would like. And of course, you can add any image that you would like as well. Next, I'm going to hover under the title and click, and then I'm gonna hit /inline database. You'll see that come up there. We're going to title this database Meeting Notes 2026. So the first property that we're going to configure is the title. So I'm just gonna click on where it says name, and then I'm gonna rename this to title. And then I'm gonna click on the icon next to it to change it, and I'm gonna add it to these 3 lines here. It's called list. So from there, that is completed, and then we're gonna click next to it and select add property to add a new one. The next property that we are going to add is the date property. So we're just gonna click that there. And no further changes are needed to the date property because it's already configured in the way that I want. Next, we'll click this plus icon to add another property. And this time we are going to select text. And we're gonna rename this property to description. And I'm gonna keep the icon the same because I like it. Now we are going to click the plus icon again to add another property. And this time we are going to select formula. From there, I'll click on the property again and rename it to week number. And I'm gonna change the icon to a weekly calendar. So I'm gonna write week, and then I'll select this icon here for the weekly calendar. Now we are going to hover over edit property and then click edit formula. And this is where we are going to add the formula for the week. With Notion formulas, I'm not gonna lie to you, it can seem a bit intimidating at first glance, but I'm gonna provide you with the exact formula that you need in this video, and you can also just copy and paste it directly from the description box so that you can have it in your database. But this is the formula that we are going to be using to calculate the week of the year. And just to give a short explanation of what this formula is doing, first it checks if a date exists, then it pulls the week number from that date, and then it formats it so every week is consistent and easy to organize in the different views that we're going to create. If you're familiar with JavaScript, then this is essentially what Notion formulas are. But before each line of code, I just added a note so you can reference back to it if you want. But by copying and pasting this, you will have the exact formula that you need to get the week. So now that that is complete, we are just going to click out of this window and we will add another property. I'm gonna click the plus icon here and we'll select formula again. Why am I? Okay, we'll select formula again, and we are going to rename this formula to quarter. And I'm going to change the icon to a monthly calendar here. From there, we hover over edit property and then edit formula. And this is the formula that we are going to be using to calculate the quarter. Essentially what this formula is doing is it checks if the date exists, and then it figures out which quarter that date falls into, and it automatically labels it as Q1 through Q4 so that when we create the different views, we can organize them by quarter. And of course, this formula is also available in the description box for you to just copy and paste directly into your Notion. What we're gonna do next is create a template so that when we open up a new page, we will see exactly what we want to reflect on weekly. So the way that we do that is by navigating to the top right of your database, and next to this new button, we're gonna click this down arrow and then click new template. We'll see a window pop up here, and I'm gonna title every template Meeting Notes. And then this down here is where you are going to add what you want to reflect on. So you can take the exact template that I use for my weekly reflections, but if at your job there are other things that you need to account for, 100% add that here as well, because the greatest thing about Notion is the fact that you can tailor it to you so that it best fits your workflow. So once you've added or created a template that you like, what we're gonna do is just click out of this window, and then we're gonna navigate back to the top right of this database and click the down arrow again. So you'll see the template that we just created called meeting notes, and then you're going to select the ellipsis menu next to it and click set as default for all views in this database. So just to check that everything we created is working so far, what we're gonna do is click new page, and we can see that the meeting notes has been added there. If we open it up, we can see that the template has populated, and if we click on the date here and set it to the first Monday of this year, we should see that the formula has worked for both the week and quarter property. So now the next step is creating all of the pages for the year, and this is definitely the most meticulous step of creating this database, but it is also very easy, and I've created a hack to make it go a little bit quicker. So if I were to click new page, I would have to move my mouse down every time, and I just don't want to do that. So what we're gonna do is just create a button to make all of these pages for us. So what we'll do is just hover over the title and then click enter, hit / and then write button. From there, you can title this whatever you want. I'll just write add new page. And then from there, it says when the button is clicked, and we're gonna configure the actions now. So we click new action, and then we select add page to, and then we're gonna select the database that we just created. So when it says select data source, we'll click that. And then we're gonna click Meeting Notes 2026, which is the database that we just made. And then you're gonna see the title property here, and it says untitled. We don't want it to be untitled when it's added to the database. We want to make sure that it's the same Meeting Notes title that we created. So I'm gonna click title here and then select remove. From there, it really is that easy. We click done, and then I'm just going to spam this button. So I'll click add new page, and I'm gonna click this 52 times. Okay, let's just spam this. If you wanna check how many pages you've added so far, then you can just go to this first property heading and hover over it. Then you'll see this checkbox that appears on the left-hand side, and you can select it to see that you have 17 selected. I need to add 52, so I'm gonna continue to add more. So one thing to know about Notion is that for the database, it usually only shows the first 50 pages. So if you hover next to the property title and it just continually shows 50, what you'll have to do is just scroll to the bottom and click load more. From there, you can go back up, click that check mark again, and then you'll be able to see that you have all 53 pages there, or in this case, I just need 52, so I'm gonna take one and delete it. So now that you have all of the pages here, what we're gonna do next is just populate the date field. And again, this is the part that is the most meticulous, but Notion makes it very easy. I timed myself when I was doing the test for this tutorial, and it took me 6 minutes to fill out all of this, so it's really not gonna take you a long time. But what you'll do is just click the date property and select the Monday of every week. what makes this go a lot quicker is the fact that Notion has the calendar view, so you can very easily identify what the Monday of every week is. So pause this video, take the time to fill it in, and then we'll move on to the next step. So once you finish adding the date property into all of the pages, just to double check to make sure you added everything correctly, just reference the week property and that everything is going in sequential order, and it shows week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to ensure that you didn't skip any weeks. Once you have double checked that, then honestly the hardest part is done. If you want to delete the button now because we really don't need it anymore, you can just click on this menu button here and click delete. Next, what we're gonna do is just move the property headings around a little bit, just so it's tailored to your liking. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the week number first, and then when you hover between the property headings, you'll see this blue bar and you'll see the mouse cursor change. Once that happens, you can pull it in to make that heading smaller. Next, what I'll do is move the date property before the title. I'm gonna move this out, and I'll move the quarter one in, and you can customize this in any way that you like. Now we are almost finished creating this database. I just went ahead and added some placeholder information just so that it's a little bit easier to visualize, but the next step is to add different views so we can separate all of these pages by quarter. The way that you add a different view is by navigating to the database title and then clicking the ellipsis menu here. From there, we're going to click duplicate view. And when we duplicate this view, we are going to change the heading or the title to Q1. From there, we're gonna just navigate back to the original view, and we're gonna click on it and then select rename, and we'll name this year. Once that's finished, I'm going to right click on Q1 to get this menu, then I'm gonna click duplicate. After I click duplicate, I'm going to rename this to Q2. Then we're going to navigate to Q2, right click on there, click duplicate again. I'm pretty sure you see the trend that's going on here. I'm gonna rename this to Q3. And then lastly, we're gonna right click Q3, click duplicate, and then we're gonna rename Q3 to Q4. Perfect. So you could also change the icons here. I'm perfectly content with what the default is, but if you wanted to switch around the order of the views, I'm just gonna put year at the end here. You can do so by just clicking and dragging it. Now, of course, all of these views actually have the same information on it, but what we're gonna do now is add a filter so that we're only seeing the Q1 pages in the Q1 view. The way that we do that is by navigating to Q1, just confirm that you're on that view, and then we're gonna go over to the right-hand side of the database and click filter. Once you click filter, we're going to select quarter. And then this will come up here on the left-hand side where it says quarter contains, and then we want to type Q1 because we want the quarter to contain everything that says Q1. So we're going to confirm that, and if we scroll down a little bit, we'll be able to see that it's just Q1. I'm gonna click this filter icon just to get rid of it. Then we're just gonna repeat this step for all of the views. So for Q2, we are going to navigate to the filter icon, click quarter, quarter contains Q2, and there we go. And that is it. You guys have just officially created a weekly check-in that you could use at work. Again, this has been a huge game changer for me, so I'm very excited if you guys decide to use something like this in your 9-to-5 or just in your personal entrepreneurial business stuff. However you decide to use it, please take pictures, tag me. I want to see how you've customized it for yourself. But that is it. I'm Alexia. I have to do better at introducing myself at the beginning of videos, but at noxelledigital, what we do is just provide you with tools and resources to create systems that work for you, because as we achieve our goals, we should not be going crazy. These tools are here for us to help aid in reaching our goals. So yeah, thank you. Comment, like, subscribe, and I have so many more videos coming for you guys. I'm so excited. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my monthly newsletter. I might include a couple freebies of the templates that I create. Who knows? Sign up and you'll find out, but everything will be in the description box. Again, thank you guys for watching. There's so many more tutorials coming, and I'll just catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.